in a snowstorm at -30 degrees Celsius. The 15-year outdoor master met his enemy and begged his teammates to save his husband. Why can we still retain 3 lives? Travelers in Yunnan travel to Ao-Tai County, the Chinese dragon's backbone, with full of longing. But he encountered a disaster in the Sea of Rocks at an altitude of 3,500 meters. An avoidable trap eventually led to a bloody tragedy in which 3 people died and 1 was injured. This is what happened in Ao-Tai County during the May Day holiday in 2017. Pieces. I believe everyone is familiar with Ao-Tai County. It is only more than 40 meters away in a straight line. Kilometers. The actual hiking mileage is more than 170 kilometers, so it is listed as medium. It ranks first among the top 5 most difficult hiking routes in the country. What proves it most is that it can change quickly. Changing climate. There are 4 seasons with different strengths in one day. The core team of this incident are 8 travelers from Yunnan. They met through the internet to challenge the members of Ao-Tai County in the form of AA system. The oldest is 50 years old and the youngest is in his 20s. Their occupations include clerks and businessmen. What private company employees have in common is that they love mountain climbing and don't want to be mediocre. The core characters are He Zuying and her husband Mu Wensheng. The couple owns 15 years of outdoor experience and even attempted to pan Everest is recognized by the team. Main stock. The other members all agree that they are the core to rely on. He Zuying has a calm personality. The former attribute of outdoor skills. Before departure, I specially compiled strategies for my teammates. Repeatedly explained the precautions to less experienced peers. Yang Liping is a relatively special member of the team. The 47-year-old is from Kunming, clerk of a taxi company with only 2 years of short-distance outdoor experience. Professional equipment such as tents and sleeping bags were all purchased online for this occasion. Never even used it before departure. He has an almost obsessive love for mountain climbing. He always spends time with travelers on weekends. Traveling together, I have been preparing for 3 or 4 months for Ao-Tai's time travel this time. There are only 6 apples, biscuits, and a few snacks in the hiking bag. The total weight is 15 kilograms, which is also the maximum weight he can bear. In addition, among the team, there are also 5 members including Jia Hui, Hongli Zhan, and all of them have been hiking for a long time. Experience, but have never experienced the test of extreme weather at high altitudes. The hidden dangers of this time travel have been buried since the beginning of the team formation. The principle of 3 no questions leads to a lack of sufficient understanding and clarity among members. The tour leader and emergency plan. On April 28, 8 travelers took a flight. Arrive in Lebanon and stay at the B and Amp, B in Tunko Village, Tai County that night. It is the most popular starting point in Ao-Tai County. There are not only dozens of travelers visiting the village, but, after leaving the trailhead, there were more than 90 senior guides included in the official guide database. Village Guide. They are familiar with the terrain and climate and can adapt to dangerous situations. However, the team did not choose to hire. The guide fee of 400 to 500 yuan per day makes them feel expensive. The detailed guide online and the adventure field in their hearts convince them. No external help is needed. At 10:30 on the 10th night, Yang Liping sent a message to her husband on Twitter. Good news. Once settled, get ready for bed and go up the mountain tomorrow. April 29. At 7 o'clock in the morning, the team set off from the Tunko village trailhead and walked along the tourist trail. The shuttle's path leads into the mountains. The weather is fine that day and there is abundant vegetation in the mountains. Dragon King. The water in the stream is heavy and the fishing moon going in and out of the mountains makes everyone relax. Be careful. The stone deer under your feet seems to be not as difficult as expected. A group of people. Moving forward steadily as planned. 3 consecutive days from April 29th to May 1st. Thousands of miles of dark clouds in the sky have been cleared. The temperature is suitable. The team is on schedule. Daytime. Marching and setting up camp at night. The ferry was transported faster than expected. Encounters occurred one after another along the way. Travel from Shenzhen, Yiwu, Changshu, Shanghai, and other places to each other. Exchange strategies, share supplies, create a harmonious atmosphere. There are also 3 tourists from Shaanxi and 1 from Shanghai who notice the weather. Worrying about the risks of going alone, taking the initiative to join the Yunnan team. Team size expanded to 12 people. At this time, they had penetrated into the core area of more than 3,300 meters in the sea. The landmark wall steps up the beam and enters the uninhabited area. There is only one left to cross the end. 2 days away, everyone's face is filled with the joy of success 5. Starting from the evening of January 1st, the clear weather suddenly stopped and suddenly the mountains. The wind picked up and the temperature dropped sharply, which was a strong contrast to the warmth and comfort of the previous 3 days. Contrast, but the team did not pay attention to it and believed that changeable weather in mountainous areas is normal. Phenomenon. We are still preparing to sprint the next day according to the support plan. No one proposes to get off or rest. Everyone's climbing circles were soaked with dew that night. But, at that time, they did not realize that this was a prelude to disaster. May 2. In the early morning, a snowstorm came without warning, accompanied by heavy fog. The visibility instantly dropped to less than 5 meters. I was picking up garbage on the mountain. Guide Guo Xiaojun sensed the danger and immediately led the 35 people accompanying him. Break camp and get off the bus. And set up a circle with other teams along the way. This weather can kill people. When he persuaded the Yunnan team, he was rejected and the travel expenses were all spent. After a long trip, who wants to return without success? Everyone is naive. I thought the bad weather would be over soon, so I insisted on sticking to the original plan. Moving forward, however, the snowstorm continued to rage throughout the day. The wind carried the snow particles and hit everyone's jackets on their heads and faces. The tent was soaked with snow, and the outer layer of the tent was quickly filled with ice crust. Everyone. Even though I tried to keep myself warm, my lighter frequently failed in the cold wind. Occasionally ignited, it would be instantly extinguished by wind and snow. Many attempts failed. The failure ended with He Zhuiying taking the lead in discovering the anomaly. Her husband Mu Wensheng Yang, Liping and a fellow traveler from Shaanxi began to have purple lips and chattering teeth. His hands gradually lost feeling. This is a typical symptom of hypothermia. He made a prompt decision and led the 3 of them to find a sealed rock crevice to camp. She unwrapped her sleeping bag and wrapped it around her husband, then boiled a small amount of hot water for the 3 of them. Drinking temporarily relieved symptoms, but continued low temperatures and increasing shortages. The food made despair begin to spread among the team. At noon that day, physical strength. The better 6 people formed the front team to go first: He Zhuiying, Mu Wensheng, and Yang Li. The 6 equals are slightly weaker and fall behind to protect He Zhuiying. Yang Liping and 2 women. Mu Wensheng took the initiative to choose the back of the store and always voted at the back of the team. May 2. From the evening of that day to the morning of May 3, the wind and snow showed no sign of weakening. The C-section was covered in chicken blood and became slippery. Some people accidentally fell and were injured. The team is moving slower and slower, which further proves that food and the drinking water has been completely exhausted and everyone can only rely on drinking chicken blood to quench their thirst. He Zhuiying suggested staying in the tent to rest for a day and wait for the weather to improve before leaving. But this proposal was firmly opposed by other members Shanghai. Tourism and Shaanxi tourism believe that no one knows how long the bad weather will last. Hurry up while you still have the energy. It will be safe once you reach the Daihai campground. Even her husband Mu Wensheng also advised him. It is more dangerous to follow the large army and stay alone. In the end, He Zhuiying had no choice but to compromise. Some people continued to set off despite the wind and snow at around 11 noon. Visibility was extremely low, and everyone could only fumble forward. The team gradually being pulled apart. When He Zhuiying turned around, she suddenly discovered that her husband Mu Wensheng was missing behind the store. Only Yang Liping was left behind, and she was looking for Mu Wensheng everywhere. During the gap, Yang Liping, who had been by her side, also left and lost contact. There was fake ash on the 49-year-old brigade in front of me, but I don't know when it disappeared. At this time, He Zhuiying was isolated and helpless, with her missing husband and companion on one side. With the raging wind and snow on one side, I can only grit my teeth and keep moving forward. Find the main force or a place with signals and ask for help as soon as possible. May 3. In the afternoon, He Zuiying finally met up with some members of the front team, only to learn that no one can protect themselves. Everyone was shaking with all the movement. Some were speechless and some couldn't even speak. We don't have enough fighting power to provide effective help at all. He Zuiying cried and begged the entire team to stop and help him look back. Husband, but was rejected. He even saved other teammates like before. Shanghai and fellow travelers knelt down and begged, "Please, you just saved Dong Lizhan. Please save my husband again. Your mobile phone has battery. Please." But the other party answer with tears. "Sorry, I really don't have the energy anymore. I feel like we may not be able to get out." In just a few hours, 3 companions disappeared one after another, and another. Traveler in Yunnan suffered severe frostbite on his legs and lost consciousness. The existing psychological defense completely collapsed at 6 a.m. on May 4th. He Zuiying struggled to reach the mountain ridge opposite Daihai and finally captured. There was a weak cell phone signal, and I dialed the alarm number with trembling. I received the call. After the alarm, Taibai County immediately launched the highest-level video camera response this time. It is also the most serious mountaineering accident in the history of Ao-Tai County. Because of this, at that time, Australia and Thailand had just rescued 32 people, and there were 5 more. The travelers from the Qinghai team are still out of touch. Subjective. The rescue team assembled within 15 minutes and mobilized 4 echelons with a total of 59 people. Lianhe County Public Security Bureau and Education and Sports Bureau urgently organized more than 50 rescue workers. Divide 3 rescue teams based on strength and terrain. 2 times from Tunko Village and Inga Town at 1:0 p.m. on the same day. Entering the mountain from the trailhead, 3 medical teams are simultaneously on the coast at the foot of the mountain. Waiting station Tunko Village Clinic and Inga Town Health Center provide temporary ambulance. Point. A low temperature of -30 degrees Celsius accompanied by strong winds of level 7-8 was carried by Shirley. The gravel smashed on the rescue talisman. The core search and rescue area was Taibai. The Shihai section from Liang to Leigong Temple has a snow thickness of 30-50 centimeters. Covering the original travel footprint May 5, 10:20 am. The 3rd rescue team discovered Shanghai while investigating the Shihai section of the road. The silent voice of travel. Then send it to Daihai Temporary Rescue Point 13 hours later 1 p.m. Point the 2nd rescue team at Shihai 500 meters east of Leigong Temple. Mu Wenqing's body was found in the area. He was found lying on the ground with his face pressed against in a narrow stone crevice. A leg was twisted, and the micro package fell 5 meters away. Next to the stone pile, the zipper is not opened and there is still a small amount of unused material inside. Compressed cookies and half a bottle of frozen water 2:15 am first. The rescue team found it based on the priority investigation principle of wind shelters. Zhong and Li, Shaanxi travelers, rely on each other and share one piece. Cold-proof water bag, body covered with picked dead grass, 3 p.m. first. The rescue team found the leg on the north side of Leigong Temple, sheltered from the wind and among the 10 phoenixes. Traveling in Yunnan with severe frostbite, he huddled in the corner of Shifeng, conscious. Blurred. I lost feeling in my left leg from the knee down. Everyone was using a simple stretcher. Secure it and a group of 4 people take turns carrying it down the mountain. 5:30 p.m. The Yuan Squadron of the 3rd District is on the ridge 2 kilometers east of Leigong Temple. The remains of Fei Kui were found. He maintained a posture of leaning against the 12 seats. The hiking bag is still on my back and my hands are in the pockets of my jacket, not worn. Gloves. The fingers are all shrunk and stiff. A small amount of iced tea remains on the inside of the pocket. The snow on the collar of the window and the hat is undisturbed. Shi Wen suddenly passed away when Sai was sitting down to rest at 5:30 am on May 6. The 2nd rescue team is on its way to the meeting point of Ono Kaiwa and Zuiying. I discovered Shaanxi tourist Wang Mao through the headlight. It was dark in the early morning. The headlight range is only 10 meters in thick fog. Wang stood on the same spot on a gentle slope. After wandering for 20 minutes, I met 4 survivors led by He Zuiying. Meet at the mountain ridge on the west side of Ono Sea. As the temperature rises after May 7, The chicken blood gradually melts and the rescue team restarts the search for Yang Liping, May. At 4:10 p.m. on the 9th, the first team was on the southeast slope of Leigong Temple. His body was found in a 30-meter stone nest. How could the stone nest accommodate one person? It's a natural shelter. He curled up in it sideways. His arms were wrapped around his knees. The purple coat on his body was torn by the wind and snow, and his red hiking bag fell beside him. All the remains of the victims were wrapped in professional trial tapes by rescue team members and Bei Gong worked together to carry it down the mountain. After arriving at the foot of the mountain, the body was immediately handed over to the local area. Police and funeral homes conduct identity verification and autopsy. The autopsy report showed that the 3 victims did not suffer from severe hypothermia, breathing, cardiac arrest, no other fatal trauma. Afternoon of May 10. At 1 o'clock, members of the Dawn rescue team officially handed over Yang Liping's belongings. When his relatives opened the package, they found that there was no memory card in the camera. Use it to save his climbing photos before setting off and the scenery along the way. The last photo was taken on May 1st. The picture shows a clear sky. There is no video record of Kiao Miliang below. From May 4 to May. The last body was found on the 9th. Midnight on the 16th day of the journey. Total: 109 people were involved in the rescue, including more than 30 rescue team members. Staying at high altitude for more than 48 hours, the average person does not get enough sleep. 6 hours. This journey that began with longing ended with the loss of 3 lives. Drawing a sad ending, He Zuiying broke her heart in the interview afterwards. Reflection: the root cause of this tragedy is excessive superstition of online strategies. Letting them ignore the importance of professional guides is an exorbitant expense. Calculation makes them give up the most basic safety guarantee, which is a disservice to exploration. Their blind persistence makes them reluctant to get out of the car in time when danger arises. It was a fluke that no one thought anything would happen, and eventually the entire team was. Pushed to a desperate situation, Yang Liping's husband Li Yankun still can't let go. An understatement before setting off in person. I'm just going to climb mountains in an uninhabited area. Behind the scenes is complete ignorance of the risks of high-altitude Shaanxi Mountaineering Association. Secretary General Chen Zhen's words are more heartwarming Ao-Tai's journey through Mount Everest. It's still difficult. It's not a mature route, but a wild road. The biggest one. The risk lies in the climate. The rescuers also concluded the fatal pattern that night. Under the extreme weather in Ao-Tai County, if it cannot be completed within 10 minutes, putting up a tent, fixing it against the wind, wearing gloves, getting a sleeping bag, etc., the temperature will drop by 10 to 15 degrees. Room temperature is basically the cause of death of guards. After all, the wind and snow in Aoshan are still there. The path between Wanmu-Tsaojin and the Shihai Sea is still telling the majesty of nature, but the danger that attracts countless explorers has become untouchable. The forbidden area of life. The ban on spiritual tubes has been issued for many years, but there are still a few people. Taking desperate risks makes tragedies happen again from time to time, and the lives of those in urban areas. The warning left by this traveler in the wind and snow should be remembered forever. The scars will eventually serve as a reminder to the world to respect nature and life. Eternal power.